Hi, this is Elaine Brewster, and welcome to Aspects of Energy, where we talk about different ways to raise your energy. You know, down in Mexico, many years ago, when my husband was getting treatment for cancer, we went to a clinic where there was a surgeon and a naturopath. And the naturopath seemed to me that he was a jack of all trades. And he did so many different things. And he also mentioned that one of the reasons that he practiced in Mexico was because there were not the constraints that there were in the United States. So today we have a naturopath, Heather Ayama. She is a modern day medicine woman assisting others in co-creating self-care sanctuaries where we remember our original true nature. I'll cry here, but Heather provides inner journeys to be well of mind and soul and body. This is something, again, that we don't get as much in our society. After my husband died, people came up and said, oh, he was so healthy, wasn't he? He was BYU's top faculty racquetball player, which takes a ton of energy. Yes, he was. But there's more, you know, and then they'd say, Scott was so healthy. I used to see him ride his bike to work. Yes, he rode, even in the winter, even in the snow.
Wow.
There's more to cancer and there's more to being healthy than just the body. And so Heather inspires hope and encourages all to reconnect to their dreams, purpose, and goodness with her unique entrepreneurial spirit of heart. So today we're going to ask her, for starters, Heather, what is a naturopath? And also, how is a person like an egg?
Oh, that's so much fun, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I think of an egg. When you think of an egg, what do you think of? Do you think of a whole round egg? Do you think of new things? Do you think of it being unto itself whole? What do you think when you think of an egg? Do you think of something beautiful and it's an egg? You know, it's whole, it's got a yolk, it's got the white part. It's a whole thing. And that's kind of how I think of the body. I think of it as a whole thing. A naturopath will look at everything. So just like the 5 pillars of health in Nikken, we look at everything. So we start with our core, our spirit, our soul, our heart, and from there we go out. So we think of our mind. How's your mind today? You know, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking good thoughts? Are you thinking you're sick? You know, what are you thinking about? Then we think about our relationships. Now, I believe that human relationships are the most difficult job we ever have to do in life. I just do. I think it's a really big job to do, but there's where we live. You know, we live with other people. We're brothers and sisters, and we have to assist each other. So there's relationships and family. And do we think about money? Of course we do. How else do we live, you know, in this world where you have to create an income to be able to support your living? What are the other ones that we look at? Well, we look at environment. A lot of things you can tell by your environment, by the people you hang with. So who do you hang out with? Who's your best friend? You know, who do you associate with? We look at all those things and we feel that a body is whole and that it's always going back to homeostasis. Always, always, always. So give it the things that it needs to go back to homeostasis. When you're unbalanced, it's needing something else. So what do you need to feed it? So I think of it as a circle, and or an egg, because we're all not perfect. We're not all a perfect circle. So I think of it just as an egg, all different colors and all different shapes. We nourish our bodies and our minds, and then we cleanse, don't we? We bring in and we push out. So we bring in the breath and we exhale the breath. We inhale the breath and exhale the breath. And when you're inhaling the breath, Yogi Bhajan says you can release 70% of your toxins with just your breath. Now, isn't that amazing? I thought that was amazing. You know, I just love when people give me situations like that, like your body's 70% water or more. If you put good water in your body, you're going to be 70% better. Now, there's my story about being paralyzed from head to toe within a 12-hour period about, how many years ago was it now? It was 2008. So you do the math. I became paralyzed within a 12-hour period. It started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and by the time it was 1 o'clock in the morning, I was totally paralyzed and in agony. They finally figured out what it was after telling me I had MS for 9 months, cancer for a few weeks, Parkinson's, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis. I had the 5 biggies. They said I had Guillain-Barré. My thyroid is needing extra good attention from me because it still isn't working properly. I had to get 7 root canals because the medicines they gave me kind of cut off circulation in part of my body. But it taught me so much. I was working at a nursing home. My parents owned a nursing home, and I was helping people pass over and doing wound rounds and things like that. All my friends are nurses, so I kind of hang with nurses. So all you nurses out there, I love you. You're angels. I'm sorry you have to document so much nowadays, but you're really angels. So that's how I kind of got into Nikken, is really how I got into that. I'd already been, how I got to be a naturopath, that was way before. I was, when my daughter was born, she was about 2 years old, she started walking funny and she started complaining about her feet. And it wound up that she had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Well, it went on for about 6 years till she was about 8. When she was 8, I had to, she couldn't move most of her limbs. I had to pick her up and bathe her and move her limbs and dress her and get her to school maybe twice a week at noon or something like that. And she was going to a lot of doctors, and the medications just didn't do right by her. You know, her stomach was all upset. She couldn't eat. Her hair would fall out. Her coloring was gray. So we went to South America, where I had lived and where her father was from, and where I learned how to be a naturopath without the paperwork. And so within a month of being down there and coming back, she had healed probably, I would say 95%. She had no motion in her left arm, and she was moving it and walking around, running around actually, when she got back from South America. And I took her to see the doctors. I wanted x-rays, you know, I just wanted some proof. And probably I wanted to rub their noses in it, but I didn't, you know. And they really got upset with me, and they threatened to take her away from me. And a few days later, a sheriff showed up at my door and said, you know, they gave me papers saying that I was being derelict in my duties as a mom, and that they were going to take her away from me. The doctors had gotten really mad. And they were very humiliating too. I love doctors. I have a lot of doctors in my life, and they do wonderful things, and they're like guardian angels most of the time. But these weren't like that. So thank goodness my family has some prominence and some goodness in the community. And the judge was an uncle of mine. The doctor was another uncle that were, you know, friends of the family for years and years. So we always called them uncle. Uncle Tom was my doctor, and he warned me, and so did the judge, who was another uncle, Uncle Johnny. And from that day forward, I said, well, how could I have prevented that? And the only way in New York State that you can touch a person, besides being a nurse, I didn't want to become a nurse. I didn't like the documentation part of it. So I became a minister, I became a Reiki master, and I became a naturopath. Those were the three things that I could do to be able to touch a person in New York State where they wouldn't come after me. So that's how I became a naturopath. There's my story. You know my secret now. I help people remember really who they are, and empower them to find their own health. You know yourself the best. I don't know you. Nobody else knows you. You know yourself the best. You know your answers to yourself, you know, for your best guidance. You have an innate guidance system. Do you know what that is? You do, Carol. You do, Linda. Do you, Norma? Do you know what your guidance system is? I can't hear you. Elaine, do you know?
Muscle testing?
Mm-hmm.
The Holy Spirit says, yeah, I agree.
You got it.
Yeah.
That is your birthright. That's your guidance system. It will never lie to you. It will always tell you the truth, because it's your connection to your heart, to all that is. It's very simple. And there's many, 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 many ways to muscle test. I have one that you just do this with your finger. Does anybody know this one? Would you like to learn it?
Yes.
Linda has another one. Yeah.
I have a different
That
one.
was an easy one too, but this one's one-handed. I found this, I was taught in a different way. As I was learning to be a naturopath, we had a holistic nurse was teaching us nutrition. And she started us out with nutrition, about what you're feeding your body for yourself. So the premise was, you're a person, you're different on any given day, and you're different at any given moment. Sometimes you might need one thing, and another moment you might need another. I do this with all of my medications, all of my my sacred medicine, I call it. They're supplements, they're herbs, they're all those things, because I just trust in Mother Nature. I don't trust anything else. Where was I? Muscle testing. Muscle testing. So what I do is I take either my middle finger or my fourth finger, and I gently and softly roll it. Make sure your hands are dry. And if you can feel, see, our hands have polarities. There's positive and a negative. Some days you might use your middle finger, and some days you might use your fourth finger. Your thumb is your ground. So if it can roll softly and gently, that's your finger to use today, right now. If it's not, use the next finger, the fourth finger, your ring finger, middle or fourth. You don't use this one ever. It's middle or fourth. So you roll it softly and gently around in a circle. Okay, and you say your name. My name is Heather. and see what that feels like. You can close your eyes. You can keep them open. My name is Heather. And then say, all right, I am 61 years old, maybe. Yeah, it told me I was. Good deal. I was right. So softly and gently, it will roll. Now you get your base. You always get your base. So you always tell the truth, okay, first. And you always ask the question in the positive. Linda will tell you, look straight ahead. Look down. Keep your head straight and then look down. Carol, you're funny. I love this. Make sure it's soft and gentle. And then say a lie. Say, I'm 22. Ha! Might be my 22nd anniversary of my 40th birthday. So do you feel the difference? No? All right, Shirley, show me your hand. Show me your finger. Okay, turn it sideways so I can see it. There you go. Softly and gently. My name is Shirley. Do you have a different name that you use?
No, I was just going to say, should I be using my right hand, my left hand?
Your dominant hand?
Okay.
The hand you write with?
Sorry, my phone is ringing. I'll just ignore it for now.
That's okay. So your middle finger, look at it. Also, look at it. Look at it. Because a lot of times you can't feel something, but you can see it and feel it. So my name is Shirley.
My name is Shirley.
My name is Deborah.
My name is Deborah.
I could see where it stuck on the bottom. I could see that. I saw where it stuck, but you have to feel it. All right, say my name is Shirley.
My name is Shirley.
My name is Bob.
My name is Bob.
Yours is very subtle, but I could see it. Did you feel anything?
I don't feel it.
Feel it rougher? All right,
No.
there's another one for you. Anybody else? Norma? Carol?
I have another one I use, but because I could never get this one to work for me.
Okay. Carol, go ahead. Are you getting it? Say the truth. Say, my name is Carol. My name is Carol, and feel it. Just really feel it. Feel what it feels like. It goes around. It's soft. It's gentle. And say, my name is George. I can't hear you.
So it goes a little cross-eyed when I say my name.
There you go.
I mean,
There you go. It's
okay.
just different. Sometimes it's very subtle. Sometimes it just sticks at the bottom and doesn't go around. Sometimes it'll go, actually it'll stop, or your finger will go off. You know, various people have various openness to it.
Right.
Betty,
I have
did you
like
get it?
arthritis right here too. That makes it hard, but whatever.
It's okay. I've done this with people with even Parkinson's, and they can do it. Where they're shaking and they can still do it. If you're shaking too much, have a drink of water and take a few breaths before you do it.
Okay.
Have a drink of PiMag water.
Yes, definitely.
Why can't
Linda,
you-
what's the other one that you do?
Oh, you know, one, it's pretty easy is to put it like on your, I do it on my stomach, but since you
Yep.
can't really see my stomach, you just can hold up a finger and head level, eyes focus down, because that's testing subconscious mind. If your eyes are looking up here, it's testing conscious mind, which can lie to you. So you hold up your finger, and then you can actually say, like, my name is Linda, my name is Susan. So it's like you get your baseline, like Heather said.
My name's Karen.
Because I never really got, I mean, it's very subtle, that like the stickiness on the fingers. And like me with my right hand and issues, I have a hard time with those other fingers. And, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, like anything.
Yes. Practice it.
I mean, there's the tilt method that's super easy too. And then Heather taught me just the finger. So my name is Linda. My name is Heather. So I'm resisting, but I'm not actually using anything else. So she taught me the finger.
Well, when I was taught, she said, this nurse, this holistic nurse taught us to designate a finger to say yes and designate on your other hand, another finger to move when you say no. I'm just like, who cares about no? I want to know the yeses. So my finger will move, my right hand finger will move on the yes. And people who know me are always looking at my finger to see what the answer is, because I'm a medical intuitive as well. I'm very intuitive and I'm an empath. So, hey, Dee, there she is. So it's very easy for me. Plus, I've been doing it a long time. It's been a long time. So sometimes you don't even have to ask me the question where I know whether it's a yes or a no. You use the tilt method and find that works for you. Awesome.
Yes, that's
Excellent.
what I do.
Excellent. This is when I found this, that it really worked when I was on vacation. I had to drive my mom's car to Cape Cod. Have any of you been to Cape Cod? Where there's green, 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 and these little signs that have a number on them. They don't tell you where you're going. There's no gas station signs. Well, I had to get gas. So I kept getting off and not finding a gas station and then there was more green, green and road and no gas station. So I started asking, should I get off here? Should I get off here? Should I get off here? And finally it says, yes, get off. And which way do I turn? Right or left? Right. So I turned right, and about half a mile down the road, there was the gas station across the way. My car cut out of gas and it coasted into the gas thing, and I didn't know which side it was on, so I got in there and it was the wrong side, and these two beautiful big black men came out and they moved my car. They were these angels that just came out and just took my car and moved it onto the other side, and I got gas. So I so trust it. I just trust it. So you can too. You know, it is your birthright. It's your birthright. It was given to you. I teach a lot of children this. I go into schools and show them how to muscle test, and we do lots of exercises with water and magnets and fun stuff. The kids they just like soak it all up like a sponge. So
The great thing about the finger is it's subtle. Not everybody
Yes.
knows what you're doing.
yeah. And this one I liked because I thought people are going to think I'm thinking about money. I don't know. I just have a fun way of thinking about things.
So when you put your finger up, if it's a yes, it goes down when you push.
If it's a yes, it's strong.
No,
If it's a no, it's weak.
if it's yes, it stays up, strong.
Strong.
Okay. And when you said with your finger, you said they were wondering which was going to move. Heather, what were you talking about? Didn't you say?
Well, that's how I was taught. I wasn't taught to do muscle testing. That came afterward. That came with Dr. Bradley Nelson and the emotion code and dowsers. I have a lot of friends that are dowsers, and that came after all the muscle testing. But it was originally just have your finger move. Just designate a finger to move, and it can be so subtle nobody else could see it, but you can feel it. You feel when your finger moves, right?
And that's yes, if your finger moves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like holding it in your lap or something.
Yeah, just walking, talking, it doesn't matter. I ask the question and I get the answer. I've been doing it a long time though. You get to know how your body responds. You know
Yes.
yourself the best. You know who you are.
Heather, can you tell us a little bit more about the body code and the 6 things that Dr. Nelson talks about that shouldn't be in the body? And you know,
Oh, I don't know that. I don't get that detailed.
okay.
No, I don't know that. I just do the emotion code.
But, well, oh, okay. But what do you do as a naturopath to try and help people to be back to one again? Just,
Well, I believe that we are one, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So I will always go for their heart, their soul, when that's not remembered to them. That's kind of where I start. Everyone's embodied has a soul. Everyone has a heart. So their behaviors might not demonstrate that sometimes, but everybody has that. So that's where I focus. And anything that's out of balance is because of that, because they don't remember who they really are. They don't remember their soul. They don't remember their goodness. So I look at a lot of their environment, and I look at what they're doing, and I ask them about who they are, what their dreams are, what they dreamed of as a child, because it's lost somewhere in there. And it just needs to be remembered. That's all. And we remind each other of that. Isn't that what we're here for? To remind each other of how beautiful we are and how loving and kind and healthy and whole. Yes. Happy, healthy, and whole. Holy.
mhm,
Yeah.
nice. What questions do any of you have for Heather? This is your chance.
Mike, you were listing a whole lot of things, diagnosis earlier. Were you diagnosed with each of those, or were you trying to rule out those when you were saying the
Every
MS?
one of them. I went to 27 doctors. They would diagnose me with their specialty and treat me with their drugs and their ways of doing things for each and every one of those things I talked about.
So they didn't rule out them. They just kept adding another one to you.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yes. So I got to know that very well. I didn't remember who I was. I mean, I remembered my name. I had parents, I had kids, I knew how to eat, but like I forgot how to turn a faucet on. I forgot how to put a key in a lock. Couldn't do those kind of things. I couldn't move most of the time. Sometimes I would just lay there for 2-3 days. And yeah.
Wow.
So what
Talk
happened?
about dark night of the soul. Yeah.
So how'd you come out of it?
Yeah.
Oh, now there's a
Not there.
story.
You're not
There's
there
a
now.
great story. One day I woke up. I was standing in my herbal tea corner. I woke up. I swear God woke me up. There's no other power that could have done this. I woke up and I saw these pills in my hand. I saw 17 pills in my hand. I was like, oh, so you're taking supplements. All right, what are you taking? I opened the cabinet and there's all these bottles with my name on them, and they're not herbs, they're not supplements, they're all these drugs. And I said some bad words that I don't say. I said, what the happened? What happened? And when I said that, I got this movie of everything that had happened in the past year. All the doctors I'd been to, all the medications, all the testing they'd done, all the, everything. It was in fast motion. I got all that and I go, oh boy. So, and I remember a lot of things like my sister, I remember hearing her say, my sister's dying. I was in the other room. She didn't think I could hear her. My sister's almost dead. And I think Charlie, I think, said that too. Something about how she was almost dead. And I was this close to being dead. And I guess that's what it took for, me to come out of it. And what I remembered then was Dr. Emoto came in. We had my holistic nurses organization had sponsored him over here in 2004, maybe, to he came over with his wife and his translator, and we had him at one of our nurses' homes for a week. And he did this wonderful presentation, and what I heard was, he was saying to me, you're 70% water. You're 75% water. If you get good water in yourself, you'll be 75% better. I could do that because I couldn't do 99% not good. I just couldn't do it. I was just like, it was just overwhelming to me. Even in that moment, yes, I'd woken up, but oh my gosh, yes, my body was still in chaos, with all those medications. Well, I stopped taking the medications right there. I said, you're going to die if you take any more of those medications. I was on 90 milligrams of prednisone a day. I think that's what cracked my teeth, things like that. And I couldn't remember anything, and different words would come out of my mouth that I couldn't take back. But that day, and I went into a detox reaction, and my body shook for, I think it was 2 days. I got in my hot tub and I put herbs in there and all kinds of wonderful things. I do tinctures and I make herbal remedies. I have all my life. Since my daughter went to South America, I made tinctures because that was one of the things that they set back for her to get well with. So, and within a month, I was 99% better. I could walk the majority of the time in 30 days. I did PiMag water. I got myself a comforter and I would cocoon myself in that. I got, of course, the water. That was the first thing I got.
What kind of comforter did you get?
I got a Kenko Dream Comforter.
Because I think some people
in it,
know what that is. So.
With magnets in it and all kinds of lovely, comfy things. And I would cocoon myself in it. So when Nikken came out with the cocoon, I said, oh, yay, that's mine too. I love the cocoon too. I sleep with it every night still. Since the moment I got it, I have a couple of them, one I travel with and one I leave on my bed. I got Greenzymes. That's how I detoxed. That's how I kept myself alive for that month, because I knew I had to get rid of the stuff that was inside of me, so I just did water and Greenzymes for about a month.
Wow.
And here I am. Here I am.
And what I'm confused about is, what did they say, the people that were going to take your daughter away, what did they say you were doing wrong? What was their point?
I wouldn't let them treat my daughter anymore. I wouldn't let them treat her.
Well, I mean, she was so much better.
Doesn't matter. I wouldn't listen to them. I wouldn't let them treat her.
Wow.
Wow. But the judge was your uncle, and so you got away with it.
It never got to that far because they just cut it right out. My doctor was the doctor for the county. The judge was a friend, so it never got that far. I had an attorney, and we knew the sheriff, so it never got that far. But the sheriffs did show up at my door. They had to go that far and do it. But then the doctor took over and he said, no, she's doing fine. Wow. I had what do they call it? Where they witness who you are as a person.
Character witness?
Character witness, yes.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's scary.
It is.
It was. I learned a lot, and it made me get to hear. You know, I think that regret and remorse is one of the most detrimental things to your body. I feel that all those things made me who I am, no matter what. And that I asked for them when I came into this embodiment. I remember being in a big room with other people, and they were saying, I'll be your mom, I'll be your dad. Okay, I'll be me. And this is what I want to do. I want to be in these realms. I want to be in the medical realm. I want to be, you know, in the spiritual realm. I want to do these things. I want to be with Mother Nature. I love Mother Nature. She talks to me throughout all of her things, through all people, through all things around me. So I believe we ask for everything, and we are to ask for everything. You know, why not? Ask away. Ask for good things. But I think we don't learn when everything's hunky-dory and great. We only learn when it's really challenging. Really great big blessings come from really challenging times, because you get different awarenesses. And once you get through it, that trauma, that oomph about the emotion part of it goes away. It disappears. It just disappears. Grief disappears. Everything disappears. But the thing of it is, people don't go through it. They want to go around it or over it or under it. They don't want to go through it. They don't want to feel those feelings because they feel harsh. But when you feel those feelings, when you get right into those feelings and really feel them, you'll get to a point where it just goes away. Something miraculous and magical. I can't explain it. I just know it happens every time. Every single time. Always, always, always.
Heather, do you ever have to challenge any of the people that you're working with, you know, to keep focusing?
No,
Okay.
I don't challenge people.
I have another question. You said you used the Greenzymes. How much Greenzymes did you use?
Whenever I ask to take them, I'm hungry now, I'm going to take some. I also do them straight up.
I know we're not supposed to diagnose or anything, but I've got a lady that I shared a little bit, and I know she kind of tuned me out with the water. But I've just found out that her husband says that I hope you're all members. We're being recorded though, so I'm not. She's got the challenge that was diagnosed with the shaky stuff, and well, she just recently had surgery, and it has settled in her bladder that she's potentially going to have a tube that drains out her urine because it's almost quitting working. So I'm invited her. I've got an event tomorrow, and hopefully I can repeat some of the information that you shared because you're wonderful there. Yeah, it's awesome.
For 75% water. That's not hocus pocus or anything else. We're 75% water. Put good water in your body, you're going to be 75% better. The rule of thumb is drink half your body weight in ounces of good water. Simple. It's really, really simple. And the best things are simple. They might not be easy, but they're simple. Yeah.
So somebody asked you, how many times, like, did you do a teaspoon of Greenzymes a day? Like 5, 6, 7, 8? Because that's all you were doing back then was the PiMag water and the Greenzymes. So
yeah. Oh, some days it would be 15 times. Some days it would be 5. It depended on the day.
Mm-hmm. And it's a perfect food, so you are getting nutrition.
And I would just drink water. Sometimes I would have some other things, but I can't even remember. But for the most part, it was just water and Greenzymes. And in my hot tub, and there was a lot of herbs in there. And yeah, lots of herbs in there.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Heather. Thanks for being
here.
Get to know you a little bit better. And you've got such a wealth. We would love to stay all afternoon, but maybe you know, we'll just catch you here and there as we can in the future.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I
And
put up my name and my email and my phone number in the chat, so you can call me,
yeah,
you can
so
email me. We can set up a Zoom.
yeah, people, you can go down to the 3 little dots down at the bottom of the chat, and then that shows where you can save the chat. And so that's handy. Or I just write them down on a piece of paper myself.
Yeah, me too.
Where is it?
There are 3 little buttons down.
I think I saw that, but I only see one thing from Shirley in my chat.
Roll up.
Same here.
I can't, it doesn't scroll up anymore.
It's
I have
not
all-
anymore. Yeah. Maybe it was on right at 4 o'clock. I didn't get on till 4:03.
I think this happened before. I think that
So can you
it
type it
doesn't
again?
Here, write it down.
Yes,
518
until
what?
779
518
779
779
9930.
9930.
And my email, HALOUCKS@gmail.com.
You do 3 ways
Sometimes.
sometimes.
now next week we've got a gal who's going to be talking about essential oils. And so that
Cool.
will be a fun, that will be a fun thing to learn about.
Yes.
And if you want a listing of any of the previous ones, email me. It's brewstersinger@me.com. And just thank you so much for being on today. And thank you all of people who are going to be able to listen to this in the future. And so for right now, go find someone, whether it's on the phone or whether it's in person or on a Zoom, and smile at them, and that will raise their energy and it will raise yours.
Tell them you love them.
Yeah. People need that.
Yeah, we
Need
do.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
It's been
you.
a pleasure.
This is
It's been a
Thanks, Heather.
thank you, Heather. Thanks.
De nada.
Thank
De
you.
nada. Ciao.
Bye.